Welcome back, friends, to a beautiful Monday morning on the homestead. After that last fiasco we had with trying to unload that firewood processor off that drop deck, I don't want to go through that again. So many of you suggested a solution, and that is to put a trailer ball on the forks of your tractor, right? So drilling a hole in it. Well, I've done that in the past and with limited results. The last time I cut one, I think it was in my Clark forklift, I used a cutting torch. And if you don't know already, that steel for forklift tines, what do you call them? No, they're not called tines. I forget what they're called. Is quite a tough alloy. I know how to do it easily. Like a lot of you guys, I have 3 sizes of trailer balls on there. And stay to the end. If you're still using these old school trailer ball receivers, like I was up until 6 weeks ago, time has moved on and you might want to think about upgrading. Stay to the end and I'm going to show you the most amazing trailer ball system that will put this to shame. So this is one of my old ones, 2 5/16 ball. Let's yank this off of here and then we'll get the diameter for a hole, but it looks like it's going to be a big one. For a big nut, we need a big old socket. I misspoke last time I showed these to you guys. I said this was a 1-inch drive. It's a 3/4 inch drive. I've never even seen a 1-inch drive. But this is big enough. So this is 1/2 inch drive. Most of you guys will have this right here. This is 3/4 inch drive. I bought this from my neighbor, Henry, who was a heavy equipment mechanic years ago. And man, oh man, does it come in handy for this big stuff. Classic example of why you want a really strong bench, especially the connection for your vise, because when you need to put big pressure on stuff like this, there's nothing more aggravating than having a wobbly bench that you can't count on. All right. These take a beating, you know, from the bottom of the threads typically get beat up from different rocks and things that hit it on the road, so they can be really miserable. Not this one. Simple enough. Goodness, my shop is a disaster. It's classical springtime. Boy, when the weather changes, you just start thinking of all the things you need to get ready for the summer and the springtime, and it's a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use the magnetic drill, the slugger. Hopefully I have one this big. Oh, I think I do. This is going to be the biggest hole I've ever drilled with that. I guess we need to get it, I think that's right. So make sure. Sometimes at the base is a little bit wider than the threads. I want to make sure I get this right here. That fits. We're going to go big. We're going to go with the biggest one. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Our next decision needs to be which side of the fork is going to be the best. I'm automatically thinking the left side. You know what's interesting? For most people, not all of you ride motorcycles and stuff, but most people as a rule favor turning to the left versus turning to the right. This was proved to me as I was working on the snow bikes the other day, and there's these rails, these sacrificial pieces of this hard graphite. And what it does is it's a bearing surface that keeps the metal off the metal, right? And when you pull these off to replace them, oftentimes on the left side is worn way more. And I noticed that when I want to turn, I'm really reluctant. I don't like turning to the right, but I love turning to the left. I usually crash when I turn to the right. So that being said, sitting in the tractor is not really different. Automatically, when I want to look over, if I want to look at the ball through the corner of the window, I'm going to lean to the left. So that's going to make it easy for me. So we're going to go here. With the left fork decided, how far back do we want to go? We have lots of material, so I think somewhere in there would be fine. We'll center it. Get roughly centered. Looks pretty good. And we'll go right here. And I know you guys guessed it. We're going to use the electromagnetic drill to drill this. I bought this thing on a whim because it was on sale at I was at the welding shop. I had serious, there's flats on here for these set screws. I had serious buyer's remorse after, even on the way home, I was thinking, good grief, what have you done? Like, you need an electromagnetic drill. But I'll tell you what, after having it, and, you know, and having lots of heavy equipment and heavy, you know, working with steel and such, it's absolutely a godsend. My friends caught wind of it, my neighbors and friends, and they're borrowing it now. Whenever they have to drill some super, super thick steel hole, it is a wonderful tool. If you haven't seen one of these, an electromagnetic drill press is basically just what it sounds like. Listen to this. Oh yeah, that gives me the fizz. It's got electromagnet on the base that's so powerful that you can put it upside down. You could literally stick this to a girder or an I-beam and drill a hole in it upside down. That's how powerful it is. So you turn it on and off like this right here. The other cool thing is that, I know a lot of you guys know this, the drill bits for these things are hollow. So you don't have to drill near as much material, but just a percentage of the material, and then you have a slug that falls out the center. So the drilling is incredibly fast, even in steel like this that's almost 3/4 inch thick. You probably heard that chatter, and one thing about these things is these shavings are lethal, like razor wire. The tool actually came with this little digger tool there to dig them out. Now what I noticed when you heard that squawking, I wasn't pressing hard enough, and it was kind of chattering in there, and I thought that was a lubrication issue, but I'm just not putting enough pressure on it. So it seems to really take off and cut when you put a bunch of pressure on it. But it drills almost as fast as drilling through wood. That is a fast hole. Back before this, back in the day, the idea of taking my drill bits and my crummy drill presses and stuff and trying to drill a 1-inch hole through 3/4 inch hardened steel, no. Did you remember to click the thumbs up? Have you commented? Have you subscribed if you're not subscribed? I'll wait. Go ahead. Tell me when you're ready and then we'll move on and put the ball on. All right, you got the thumbs down? Thumbs down, thumbs up, doesn't matter. Vote your conscience. Let's install our trailer ball. Here's a pro tip for you. Professional homeowners, they collect pro tips because they can't figure things out on their own all that well, so they need to, well, take advantage of people smarter than them. This is an anti-seize lubricant, thread lubricant. It comes in a tube. You can buy it at Napa, anywhere. This is something a guy should have in your shop for working threads. Any type of a thread that when I say working thread, I think of like a bearing puller or something that you use the threads to pull or to push with, and something that's big and heavy like this where you might want to get it off, where it can be exposed out in road salt and grime, especially East Coast guys. Some of the stuff you guys put on your roads over there, I mean, it just eats your cars. We use gravel over here. But this is perfect. This is the perfect type of application for this. And then when you go to take it off, it will be so much easier. Now this is a 2 5/8 ball. This is probably all that I'm going to use. That will be the same size for that processor. And now we'll be able to just put this on. It's not the fastest way. There's slip-on ways and quick attach ways, but I don't use it very often. I just want to have a safe way. I don't want to go through that the process of that. I did last time and almost dumped that wood processor off. But that's it right there. Now we have an absolute secure way to move stuff around, and it's going to be so much better, so much safer than we had before. You want another pro tip? This is one actually. I wish I would have thought of this, but I didn't. When you have a can, a lot of times you have cans like this that will have an applicator brush. It's really common with the glue. If you've done ABS or PVC fitting, you know, you buy the little blue or the black glue from Home Depot and it's got the little dauber. There's always that inch in the bottom that you can't get at. Well, what you do when you get to that point is you take your hammer and you carefully smash the top of the can. You collapse the can down like you see here, just a little bit, and now you can reach with your brush or with your dauber, you can reach the bottom of your can. I've been kind of going through as we've been unpacking boxes and such. I've been taking on those shipping containers, and I'll pull a box out and I empty it completely before I open another one. It's a slow process, but I deal with those things. And a lot of things I've been kind of asking myself a question: is this something that makes your life easier, or is it just further complicated? Is it one more thing to take care of and one more hassle in your life? So one thing that was a huge hassle was I have multiple trailers with multiple ball sizes and multiple drops, you know, their height. And so I have half a dozen hitches with different drops and different ball sizes, and I was constantly swapping things around. It was just such a bummer. So I just ran into these things. So BMW Tow, they call it BMW Tow, but what it is it's the smartest trailer hitch system ever. So first off, you can pull this pin here, and you've got a 2 5/16 inch ball and a 2-inch ball. And you can get these in 2 and 1 7/8 or whatever combination I think that you want. And this is theft proof. So this is not something that will come out. The pin that you put in it with the cotter pin, it only acts to keep it from spinning. And if you're off-roading, if you want to put this up, you can run it sideways too, so it doesn't become an anchor. So, but the fun doesn't stop there. So then you've got adjustable heights as well. I know I'm probably late to the game on this, but if you tow a lot, man, you got to have something like this. And so really nice stainless pins, and now you can adjust your height to whatever height you want. And this is theft proof as well. This won't come off. The whole thing is locked on with your main pin. Speaking of which, this is going to blow your mind. Well, this blew my mind. So my new truck came with a key fob, and there was a hole in the door for a key, but it didn't come with the key. You know where the key is? It's inside the fob. So when I was at the trailer hitch guy, we were talking about all this, and he said, "Oh, you want a lock?" And I said, "No, I got a lock." He said, "But have you seen these locks?" So check this out. So this lock is made by bolts, and when you take it out of the package, it doesn't, I don't know if it had a key, but it doesn't matter. You take your truck key, whatever it is, and all you do is you insert your truck key in here, and it keys the lock to your ignition key. I don't know how it works, but it's amazing. Because that's one less thing to keep track of. You know, do you really need another padlock key or another key for your ring? I mean, it gets ludicrous, right? My granddad was smart. He figured it out. He ordered his padlocks and saved the number, and he would only order padlocks that were key-to-like. So all his padlocks across his whole compound were all exactly the same. I don't know why I haven't been able to figure that out when I grew up with it, but this is a great combination right here. I have absolutely loved it. All right, well, that's probably all the time we have for today. I don't know what I'm doing the rest of the day here. I have so many projects going on. I feel like I'm just spinning in circles. I think I want to get the winch installed. I know we kind of left you hanging with the Harbor Freight winch. Why don't we put that up, throw that on the front bumper on the buck stop, and see how that thing performs. But that's going to be, I'll decide here. That's going to be in the next video. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. We pray for you constantly, and we'll see you all on the next video.